You are way too hot to be ordinary. Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Liquey. Welcome to the chaos. When you have big dreams, big goals and aspirations and manifestations, you cannot be like everyone else. And you cannot see yourself as just anyone, as just another girl, another person. When you are a manifester, you are not average. You are not the norm. You are not ordinary. You're special. You are separating yourself from human limitation and operating as a god. Alrighty, so now let's get into a little leaky lore. Since I was 13 years old, I knew that my life was destined for something great. Not only did I know this, but everyone around me knew this as well. I was born and raised in church, in basically a cult, but from a very young age, I was taught that the standard was excellence. Not okay, not average, not good, but excellence. And there was a lot of pressure that was put on me. So at 13 years old was when, this is in Christianity, I decided that I wanted to be saved and give my life to God, and immediately I was put in leadership. And from the age of 13 to 22 years old, my whole life was devoted and dedicated to this ministry, to leadership, to the cause that they had. And I was devoted to God. From a very young age, I was able to tap into the power of God and center in and tune in. I've always had the gift of word of knowledge, where I just something would come to me where I just had to tell somebody something that they needed to hear. And a lot of times it was a word of encouragement or something that would heal them. And I also know that I have the gift of prophecy, and I would have visions and even dreams of things that were yet to come to pass. So at a very young age, I was very intuitive and spiritual. Literally, little baby girl plagued with wisdom beyond her years. I'm fucking tired. But as this very young girl, I had to operate at a level of excellence because I was in leadership and because I was saved, right? A Christian girl, and because of who my family was and who I had to represent, I had to operate at a standard that was much higher than the norm, than the ordinary. And although my upbringing gave me an exceeding amount of trauma that I daily still work through, to my core, I know that I am not an ordinary girl and that I do stand out. You know what ordinary is? Someone that literally does not stand out from the crowd. Just absolute, basic, normal, wouldn't look twice. It means that there is nothing special that separates them from the crowd. When you're ordinary, you look like everyone else. You sound like everyone else. You think like everyone else. But I have, all of my life, I've always been very different. It was always hard for me to fit in. And I remember times where all I wanted was to be ordinary, was to be normal, was just to fit in with everyone, because it's hard when you're always the one to stand out. It's hard because naturally, just as a human, you want to find your place. Like, we naturally desire community and acceptance from people. And when I was, growing up in church and in ministry, even when I was there, I did all of the things that you were supposed to do, and I thrived at everything I do. Any leadership tasks that I had, any responsibility, I did it all because I have a large capacity to do a lot of things. At every job I've ever had, I thrived. In school, with my schoolwork, my grades were amazing. But anywhere I went, I still felt incredibly different. And I struggled trying to find my place. And because I couldn't find my place, I had to create it. When I was in church, because I desired leadership and I desired a place, and there was a place for women in leadership, but there really wasn't much. I started creating my own ministries. One of the ministries that I created was stage managing, where I would manage the entire backstage of our church services, of regional services, of events. I literally created a space for myself. I made myself valuable because once I created that ministry, literally everybody was dependent on me. I made myself the most important key to the service, was the order, the direction. I was doing stage management for conventions, like at convention centers, like Ontario Convention Center. Dude, and all of that for free. One of the biggest, most important lessons I've ever had to learn was having the power of my own validation. Because when I was young and really operating in leadership, in ministry, in church, it was because I deeply craved their validation. I deeply craved the validation of my leaders, of, you know, even like, you know, elders and like all of these people in the church. I deeply craved validation from God, just the way that I used to view God. I've done a tremendous amount of work, but even now I still crave the validation of my sister, of my mom. Craving validation from external is a trait from the ordinary, because the ordinary heavily relies on the crowd's opinion, what the crowd thinks, you know, how everyone else feels. And when you are already different and outside of the crowd and you crave the validation of it, you're going to do anything to get that, anything to, you know, get a seat. You will make yourself different to blend in. Look, the crowd is never going to understand you, and you have to be okay with that. You have to find peace with knowing that as long as you see and understand yourself, you don't need anyone else to understand you. And the truer you are to yourself, the more that you love and accept yourself and get to know yourself and understand yourself and learn yourself, you are going to be standing out from the crowd, and that's how you're seen. When you fully become yourself, when you decide to be you and shine as you and appear as you, you're seen. You don't look like every fucking one else. All these boring ass bitches, these basic ass hoes. You're not gonna be alone forever. You will find your people. You will attract the right people. Me deciding to own my own validation is me deciding to live at a higher standard. If you live your life with your validations tied to men, your standards are low. Because, no, who is this guy who's gonna say who I am? Why is it up to that man to say what your worth is? He fucking sucks. Male validation is fucking worthless, fucking useless. No one's validation in this world is worth more than your own. No one's. And do you know what? You'll realize that you get a lot more love and support and approval when you are validating yourself. When you are the one that's like fully in love with yourself and fully accepting of yourself, you start attracting more of that in your life. Remember, you are the universe. When you validate yourself, the universe will validate you. Another thing that keeps me from being ordinary is my discipline. Ordinary ass people are not disciplined. They are not devoted. They are not consistent. I go to the gym every day. Yes, every single day. I'll have a rest day here and there, but I am very disciplined when it comes to the gym. And I go at night too, like at the end of my very long day, when I've been driving all day and fucking filming and editing all day, and it's already 9-10 o'clock, but I'm still going to the gym and I'm making TikToks. Friday nights, when everyone's up in the club, I'm at the gym, and I love the club, and the club fucking loves me. But I'm deciding that I'm gonna be disciplined, and I'm gonna lock in, and I'm gonna focus on building my money, building my channel, building my body, and I'm gonna be popping the fuck off. I'm not drinking right now. I honestly rarely drink anymore. Like, I haven't really been drinking for like these past couple years, but I haven't drank all year, and I barely even noticed it. I've always definitely been more of a smoky than a drinky. And honestly, those are things that separate you from the crowd. Me deciding not to drink suddenly separates me, right? From all these other fucking alcoholics. Now believe me, I love a tequila shot. I love a tequila pineapple. And I am not at all against drinking, right? If I go out, I'm drinking tequila. But when I switch from going out every weekend, the whole fucking weekend, to literally like, you know, being sober, well, California sober, and going to the gym, like now I'm skinny. Me deciding to be celibate separated me from the crowd. Cause now you fucking bitches can't touch me. The more you step into yourself, the more you empower yourself, the more you love yourself, you're gonna find the things that separate you from the crowd. And they're not gonna be exactly like me. Like, I'm not saying you don't have to have sex. You're gonna find things that don't resonate you, that you've been doing all for the validation of the crowd. And you're gonna realize that that shit doesn't fucking matter. And you're gonna free yourself from it, and it's gonna separate you. I officially got myself off of dating apps. That was something I really didn't know if I was ever gonna be able to do. But like, enough had to fucking be enough. Like, no, get me out of here. I hate it there. When you separate from the crowd, it makes it so much easier for your people to find you. I don't wanna be found on a fucking dating app. No, you can find me at the airport or at a 5-star resort. It used to frustrate me and even sometimes hurt me that I was very different from a lot of people. But I love being different. I love being myself. I'm the fucking best. I love the way that I think and the way that I feel. I love the space that I created for myself. When I separated, I created space for me. It is so beautiful to be different, to be able to enjoy your own experience. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Come on, enjoy yourself. Embrace who you are, everything that you are. You're perfect. You're extraordinary. You are all powerful. Unlimited, pure creation, unconditional love. That's you. You're not normal, and you're never gonna fucking be normal. Who gives a fuck about the normal basic ass bitches? Do you want to be a fucking sim, or do you want to be a god? If you're manifesting something and it hasn't happened yet, don't give up. Stop thinking like an ordinary. There is levels to this shit. You have to persist. You have to be certain. It's going to require extraordinary faith. It's going to require extraordinary imagination. If you want to lose weight, you gotta get dedicated. You gotta get disciplined. Go be up in that gym. Go on your hot girl walks. Go do some yoga, some Pilates. Take a ballet class. If you want to be a content creator, you have to fucking post. Hurry, post your shit right now. Right now, hurry right now. I promise you it is good enough. I promise you it is so much better than good enough. It is amazing. It is relatable. It is funny. It is aesthetic. It is beautiful. Just post it. 9 times out of 10, your content is not going to be for your friends and family, okay? It's going to be for your people. And the only way they're going to find you is if you post. For most of my life, I struggled trying to find my place, find my purpose. And there were things that made me feel good and fulfilled and feel useful, but I still didn't feel that sense of home. And I'm so proud of myself. Next month, I will be 28, and I feel so much closer to home than I ever have in my life because I am so close and in tune with myself. I never really had a solid home. I grew up moving a lot, and even in my adulthood, I still move around a lot trying to find where I belong. Like, even still to this day, wondering if I should move back to California. But I feel at home in my mind, and I feel at home in my heart. And I feel so at home here on YouTube. YouTube has become truly my fullest, safest space out of anywhere in this world. This truly is my safest space. I have so much freedom to present myself completely 100% as I am. And I feel so loved and embraced here. You guys always say in your comments that you love it here. I love it here too. For years, I struggled with not feeling seen in my crowd, with not feeling seen in my community. And when I decided to separate myself and embrace myself and validate myself, you guys seen me. And I am forever grateful. I am so grateful that you can see me. I know what it's like to be so different, to even feel like an outcast and be just so desperate to be accepted. But you don't need any of that shit, any of that bullshit. It's useless. When you truly see yourself and love yourself and accept yourself and validate yourself, the universe rewards you with everyone else that truly see you, that truly love you, that truly accept you. Oh my gosh, alrighty. That was a lot. I do have to go now, but I do want to leave you with this. Why the fuck would you want to be anyone else when you literally look like that? Okay, gotta go. Love you. Bye.